Sorry, I had to press the button.
Hello.
Oh, hello, how you doing, dude?
How you doing, dude?
I'm all right, thank you.
Oh.
Long time no speak.
It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it, Kenzel?
Been longer than that, I think. When did we last do a podcast? It's got to be a month ago.
Oh my God, it's been a month. We did do a lot that night, though. And a lot has changed in the month, mate. A lot has changed in the month.
Well, we moved on to doing more YouTube videos.
We did. We did.
And then took a break.
Which,
That's
by the
my
way,
fault.
you should go and subscribe and like and do all the things with our YouTube channel.
And if you go to our Machine Head video, they commented on it.
Dude,
that's brilliant.
We had a good run, didn't we?
That was nice. Two bands in a week.
Employed to Serve. They liked our comments, our video, and then Machine Head liked our reaction video, and then they commented on our reaction video, and that was spectacular.
Absolutely. And considering how many views the video has, and the number of subs we had, they still took the time.
I know
to watch it. They didn't go for your Nick Well, they probably did afterwards, but what's his name? Nick Nocturnal. Him.
Nick Nocturnal.
All your big player reactors.
Your big dick swingers.
Yeah, they little old us.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So, Granma Brokake going up in the world.
Indeed.
How you been, buddy?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not bad.
There's been so much good music come out in that month, I tell you.
Yeah, and I feel really behind with it all.
It's been mental.
Which is kind of the point of the podcast today, so we can try and catch up with everything. And I don't really know where to begin.
I don't really know where to begin.
Obviously, I think maybe work backwards.
Yes. All right. So the most recent.
Could we try that?
The most recent release was on Monday of this week, when Spirit Box dropped their new album.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated new album. The Tsunami Sea. And response online has been, I would say, overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
People are talking about it being the album of the year. Contender already. They're talking about it being
still
like
very early.
Modern metal masterpiece.
Yeah.
They are rightly so giving it lots and lots of kudos. Personally speaking, I was a little underwhelmed.
So, I mean, I've heard bits lately, but I don't know whether it's from the new album or not. And yeah, I mean, it sounds all right. It's nothing new, is it?
It's a band who are clearly making big strides to make a bold statement. But personally speaking, I find that I'm looking for at the moment a band that is going to be instantly recognizable. And I'm going to instantly latch onto a single and then want to listen to the rest of the album on repeat forever. And
you want that longevity of, we need a new band that we're going to love for years, and there hasn't been one for ages.
It's a really, really good album. Tsunami Sea is really great. You'd really enjoy it, I think. I will give
it a listen.
Do you know what I really like about it? The drums.
Okay.
But even so, it's still a little bit processy.
It's not Jordan Fish, is it?
I don't think it's a Jordan Fish joint. It doesn't sound like Jordan Fish.
No, that'd be a change.
That band we listened to at the very beginning of the podcast, Mirar, the one which you weren't so sure on, with the big chuggy, heavy, incredibly dense guitars.
Instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Spirit Box do kind of similar guitar production on this album. It's a lot of that chong chong. It's really dense, heavy guitars.
Yeah.
The drumming is pretty insane. Her vocals are at next level. This is the thing, right? It's a really, really great album. Personally speaking, I'm struggling with it a little bit at the moment. I think it needs it bears repeat listens for me to try and find my in.
I think it's one that it sounds like it's bothering you.
A little bit.
And I think there's some underlying something in there that you like about it, and it's intriguing you, but at the same time you're maybe in denial about it.
I've got to decode it a little bit. They've never really been my band. I've only really come onto Spirit Box recently, and a lot of the hype around it, I'm very averse to the kind of super hype.
Mm-hmm.
If a band gets a lot of praise and kudos, I'm instantly on my back foot thinking, well, what's the catch?
Yeah.
And I think I'm looking for the catch at the moment, and there isn't actually a catch. Because it's really good, and it's not like
overthinking it.
Yeah, I'm overthinking it. I just need to give it. I need to give it some time. Do you know what I also overthink?
What's that?
Killswitch Engages new album.
I haven't even bothered.
Right.
I wasn't too keen on the singles, and I will listen to it. I just keep forgetting.
Well, we had that
It's
conversation and we were like, it's kind of like if we want to listen to like Machine Head, you listen to Machine Head because you want a Machine Head album.
Yeah.
I kind of started thinking about that in reverse and thought, Killswitch
You want a
Engage,
Killswitch
you want a Killswitch album. However, I think that's what the problem is. With Killswitch, they've maybe got 3 ideas. And I think I've heard those 3 ideas so many fucking times now that I'm a bit bored of those 3 ideas. I really want them to do something different.
Yeah, I think they do need to try something a little different. They've got when a band annoyingly changes, and you're like, oh, why have we done that? It's like the reverse of that. It's come on, can you fucking do something else now?
On this new album they've just released, I downloaded it. I've been listening to it in the car. There is a track in there that Adam Dutkovitz wrote for Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse for his side project. Okay. And he showed it to the band, and the band were like, fuck it, can we use this in Killswitch? Yeah. And it's my favourite track on the album because it's so different from what they usually do. It drops the metalcore pretense. Yeah. And it gets really, really heavy.
So maybe that's a taste of the next album if, people are feedbacking saying, well, do more of that.
There's a lot of good things about it. The singles, I think, are very generic Killswitch. They're like, it's formulaic, by the numbers Killswitch. And I think the singles could have been 3 different albums, 3 different songs on the album. Yeah. And they would have been better. Yeah. But they stuck to the formula and they released what their fans want. Unfortunately, I've grown up with them to the point now where I'm kind of like, guys, let's try something new.
Yeah. I mean, live, I only saw them a couple of years ago, and they were incredible.
They're phenomenal.
And they don't capture that same energy on a record, like lately. The one Jesse did when he came back, and then ever since then, it's just like...
formulaic. By the numbers, it's Killswitch by numbers, and that is perfectly good. But I want more now.
How many songs about fire?
The interesting thing in this one is the positivity which they usually like employ on the album is kind of muted, and they started to look at like more pessimistic, more like realistic kind of view of what the world is like at the moment. Yeah, Jesse's vocals have never sounded better. Honestly, his vocals in this are incredible from beginning to end. And it's really strange because half of the album, you would swear Howard is back. Yeah. His vocals sound exactly like Howard, which is incredible for a band to find 2 completely different singers who are, different builds, different races, different, backgrounds, bit different techniques.
One's more soulful than the other, but they still manage to do each other's songs perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I've not seen a band replace a frontman so perfectly and seamlessly. Yeah, where you kind of wish that they were both in the band still at the same time. In this album, it sounds like Jesse's trying to kind of bring back a little bit of that end of Heartbreak era kind of Howard vocal. Yeah. It's great. It's really, really good. It's not the best album in the world by far. It's not going to be up there in the top 10 albums of the year, I think. It's going to be like just outside on people's kind of radar and just, be one of those almost made the cut for the top 10. Yeah. But very, very solid album. And I think with the benefit of the doubt, we should have given it a bit more time, I think. I think if you listen to it, you'll find things in there you really like. The song he wrote for Corpse Grinder that they've repurposed for Killswitch, second to none. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to it when I'm in the mood to listen to Killswitch. I don't want to just go in dry and not feel it and then put it off even more. I think, I do go through phases of listening to them. I do love the first album Jesse did when he came back. Yeah. Can't remember the name of it. Something Flames or Heart or whatever.
Something to do with Flames or Love or Heart.
Awakening or in Resurrection. I don't know. But anyway, that album, brilliant. I can't remember the name of it now.
I will find it for you in 1 second.
But talking about other releases quickly, I've noticed that came out yesterday, new Sleep Token single, Emergence.
Oh, is it actually out now?
Yeah.
So have you seen anything about what Sleep Token have been doing recently?
No.
Right, so
not this president thing, is it?
No. So we'll talk about that in a second. It's not. I don't think they're president. I think president's something completely
Charlie
different.
Simpson, apparently, isn't it?
Right. Sorry. Just going back to the Killswitch
Yeah.
The song you should listen to, The Fall of Us. Funny story about this one is that we've got a side project with Corpse Grinder Fisher, the singer of Cannibal Corpse, and I originally wrote this song for that project, but when I showed it to the Killswitch guys one day, they were like, can we use this? So we did. But it was originally meant for Serpentine Dominion. I think you can tell too. It's just a little more grindy and death metal-y.
Okay.
I love it.
Right. I'm setting that as a song to listen to.
The Fall of Us.
There we go. Yeah. Got it. This Consequence. It just sounds like it could be anything. Atonement, Incarnate, Disarm the Descent is the album. Brilliant. Yeah.
It's a perfectly good album.
They all sound like emo band names
I think
album titles.
I think you'd really like it. There's something in there for you. That song in particular, The Fall of Us, is incredible. When they go a little bit heavier and when they stop doing the kind of the dual vocal, the dual guitar thing with the like pitch harmonics, and they start doing something different when they're like really getting into the meaty, heavy, almost machine head level guitar riffs. Yeah. And they're stepping away from the metalcore thing. It's a really nice glimpse of what they could be if they just wanted to just put the balls out there and really try it. What I think they need to do, specifically what they need to do, Adam needs to not produce an album.
Yeah. It all sounds the same. They need heavy, even upgrade to like 7-string, 8-string, whatever.
See, what you need to do basically is you need to hire Jordan Fish to come in and produce your album, and then you two can sound like every other album in the charts right now.
I want to hear Jack Antonoff produce metal. That would be sick. I think that'd be cool. So, talking of other bands.
What was that one you were mentioning that came out?
Oh, Sleep Token.
Sleep Token, right.
Yeah.
The Sleep Token thing, right, let me just touch on this. They announced the game. It was like a game.
Okay.
Right? And you had to go to the website. They put this big thing up with like a flamingo and like weird kind of gothic-y cathedral type backdrop. And then this like weird kind of tinky, plinky, plonky music box music.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you signed up for it, it sent you an email and it asked you to join one of two houses. And when you joined one of the two houses, it then sent you on, like, a different puzzle to go and, like, try and decipher things. And for about a month now, they've been dropping all these hints and stuff. People have got, like, really deep into, like, the conspiracy of it all.
Yeah.
It's been sending people on wild goose chases, like treasure hunts and stuff. They released sheet music, then they released the Morse code. The Morse code released to a like coordinates, but also you could transpose it into guitar chugs. So like chug, 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 and then like a harmonic, and then chug, chug, chug. And it was all these like little hints about what the song is going to be like. And then they released sheet music for the song, which people have been recording their own version of that song, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
that's a good idea.
YouTube right now is full of like people doing their own interpretations of that music.
Yeah. So
it's flooding in like YouTube and the internet with all of these different versions of this song they're about to release, this emergence.
Yeah.
And then so they.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued now.
It's interesting. It's very. I really enjoy the fact that they're making people think. It's the whole Tool thing. You know, the Tool Perfect Gift.
Yeah. Oh, we've got to talk about Tool as well.
You can like order the album into like the proper order and stuff, and it's all about the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
Sleep Token have done something on that level. I think it's gone over quite a few people's heads.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of effort being put in which people are not really appreciating.
Yeah.
It's really a shame because I think they're going to come out with something really special. The problem is the hype is so stratospherically high.
Yeah.
That I just hope they don't fucking drop the bag.
Yeah. I need to listen to them more, but I'm intrigued by this song and check out a few of the entries and the like, you know, people's takes on the sheet music and then listen to the song. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm intrigued by your sheet music.
Oh, really? I can't read music, so it's just a blank page. What else was there?
What did you just have then?
Raging Speedhorn.
Raging Speedhorn, yeah.
New album.
I know.
I have heard a couple of the songs already from you know, like single releases and stuff. And I must say, I was never really a fan. I only really knew like The Gush and then maybe another song that was on a Krang CD. Never really followed them up, but I didn't realise they did so many albums afterwards. And they've kind of disbanded really with like majority of the band. There's literally like 2 OG members left.
Still.
Yeah.
Oh, bless Frank.
like the tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and I think his brother is in it as well. So they've got like a whole new band, but they've gone for this 80s image for the whole thing, for their like for the album and the videos and stuff. And it's wicked. I really like it. It's just good sludge.
That's the
metal.
thing. There's no sludge metal anymore.
It's just easy, simple stuff, and it's brilliant. It's really cool.
I think sludge has got a time and a place. There's nothing like a bit of Crowbar. There's nothing like a bit of oh god, what are they called? They just played the other night with Napalm Death. Was it Crowbar?
I know who you mean. I saw it advertised. Who was it?
It's like a proper like sludge, screamy, like mad, muddy, hardcore stuff. Death metal-y type. It's that kind of thing. Sludge has got a time and a place. I've got a big place in my heart for it. I like the fact that Raging Speedhorn have been dropping albums quietly on the low for the last few years, and they've just been going for it. Because back in the day when you were an icon, they were like one of the like big bands at that time, and like them and Defenestration were like one of the two big hype bands in the UK.
Yeah,
bless them.
I love the album cover. It's just like basically Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
they've got that 80s font and like the theme, and it's just wicked. It doesn't quite suit the music, but
no, it's
still cool. I love it.
Probably would have featured on bad album covers.
Yeah.
The bad album covers episode, we could definitely have thrown it on there. I saw it and was like, I see what you're going for, guys, but if you want to be taken seriously, that's the one thing that I didn't like. Like the artwork is a bit, is a bit fucking GCSE.
Yeah, no, that's what I like about it. It looks better than the first album. That just looks like a Krang advert.
But that was so of the time, though. It was so of the time.
Indeed.
Speaking of albums that have dropped recently, can I talk about my current album of the year?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I definitely think it's going to be in the top 5 come the end of the year. I have not stopped listening to it.
Enrique Iglesias with
He's
Pitbull.
fucking great, mate. Honestly, he's still got the hips. He's still got the crooner's voice. He's got those nipples. That's
still that awful voice. Yeah. Have you heard him live?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Oh my! No, sorry. Carry on.
Architects.
Yeah, I have given it some time.
The Sky, the Earth, and all between. Holy shit!
It got a bit too much for me at one point.
I get you.
His voice is so like overpowering, and I'm like, I kind of need a break. But because I can hear the Jordan Fish and bit of Bring Me in the background, like little things, it made me want to listen to Bring Me the Horizon again. So I just went back and listened to their new album, which I totally slept on. Wow.
Which has only got 2 songs in it by Jordan Fish.
Yeah. But still, the new album, I love it. I'm a late comer to it.
Yeah, it's a good album. I really enjoyed it when it came out, and I've listened to it a few times since. It is... I still have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Bring Me the Horizon, and it all comes down to Ollie. Ollie Sykes is a very unlikable person. He comes across as a very unlikable person. He might be the sweetest man in the world, but there are stories about him that still like hang around from when they first started about him pissing on people backstage, and then there's the whole thing with him and his ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Like shit like that makes me not want to listen to the band. And that's a big thing. I would hold a grudge against someone for breaking my moral code.
Yeah.
And being a dickhead and a cunt. Ooh.
See, I don't really know any of these things.
Is that the first C word on the podcast?
Possibly.
Oh,
quite. I don't know. We talk about Bono a few times.
I feel like we should.
I think Bono.
I feel like we should have beat that out.
I don't think we've got a beep on here.
Have we not?
Cunt.
Serving cunt.
Oh no, I said cunt.
Have you heard that?
Yes.
It's brilliant. What was I going to say? Are you just saying about something?
Ollie,
yeah. I didn't know any of this stuff, and when I heard Throne, or like 10 years ago, whatever it was, I was like, whoa, this band have changed. Really got into them. But other releases, it's a bit of a random one. We moved on.
Yeah, you just fucking move on, mate.
Yeah, let's
move on, mate.
Yeah, we've got lots to go through, and this is just a little.
We can circle back on the Architects of it all.
No. Oh, Architects. Architects. Sorry. Yes. Let's go back and talk about Architects. Sorry.
As an album,
Yeah.
it's a solid 9 for me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a weak song on the album.
I still haven't heard the House Protection track.
Oh, so
I
good.
started the album. I got like track 4, I think, and I was like, "Yeah, I need a break."
The thing about the album, the big thing about it that almost lost me was the fact they released 5 songs prior to the release of the album. So that's half of the album was released before, and they were
I
really
hate that.
there were really weird selection of songs because the
And
songs
spread out as well.
yeah over like the course of a year, like a full year. Like Seeing Red came out this time last year.
Yeah.
Seeing Red came out before we went to Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Which is why when everyone was at Bloodstock and Seeing Red came on, Seeing Red and Animals were the 2 songs that everyone was like, "Rah!" for.
Yeah.
It's in context when you hear everything from the beginning to the end, like from first song to last.
Yeah.
The placement of the songs in the album makes so much more sense now that they've got all of it out.
Yeah. It's just when you get an album, when you're into a band and you want to listen to an album, a brand new one, you kind of want the whole package as a surprise.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear a single.
Yeah.
And you're like, I normally skip the single. I'm not fucking bored of that really. But like, just you want that you want to open that CD or MP3 or whatever and listen to start to finish and just discover the whole album there and then. That makes album listening
I
more
get you.
satisfying.
And it's weird because the good singles that they released, like Black Hole and Whiplash, even Seeing Red, are great songs, and they're probably some of the strongest songs on the album.
Yeah.
But I have wanted to listen to the album tracks more than I've wanted to listen to the singles because I think the album tracks are more interesting.
Yeah.
There's
normally are.
One of the singles they released a week before the album came out was Everything Ends.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of slating online. I personally thought it was great. It sounds very Linkin Park first album.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an incredible example of a heavy ass band producing a marketable single that will open up new like fan bases and fan streams for them.
Yeah.
It was very different from anything else on the album. And straight after it on the album is the song Brain Dead with House of Protection.
Yeah.
And the 1-2 punch of Everything Ends, which is like the lightest song on the album, is very poppy.
Yeah.
And then they drop Brain Dead.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It is so good. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Having them follow each other. And there's 2 or 3 tracks which they didn't release, which are just like you consider them album tracks, which are so solid.
Yeah.
It is a no skip album as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
It's not got a bad song on there. It's not got a song that lets the rest of them down.
Yeah.
I've listened to it on repeat since it came out 2 weeks ago. I've almost learned all of the songs by heart. I've been singing it like non-stop. Even when I've not got music around me, I'm like singing the songs as I'm walking upstairs to my desk at work and shit.
No, that's fair enough.
It's real good. Real good.
I'll give it I will give it another go. I mean, with regards to all the single releases and stuff, I haven't really paid much attention to it. Again, I've kind of just like, it's like watching a trailer for a film. I'd rather watch the teaser. I don't want to see 2.5 minutes of all the best bits that I'm going to sit for 2 hours and witness again, and no filler in between.
Also, you owe me £1.13
for.
They announced their tour date, obviously.
Yeah.
3 UK tour dates.
£1.13.
Yeah. We shook on it in the video episode. Because I said, I bet you £1.13.
Yeah.
When Architects release their tour dates, House of Protection will be their support.
Fair enough.
And they are. And it's the only way we're going to see House of Protection this year, as in the royal we, all of us, you, the listeners as well, apart from it Download.
Yeah.
They're playing Download and they're playing the 3 tour dates with Architects in the UK this year, and that's all of their UK tour dates.
Maybe they might announce something later in the year. When is Architects? April?
No, Architects is October.
Right.
House of Protection releases their EP in April. So maybe they'll do like a couple of UK dates.
Warm up shows for the tour.
But
that makes sense.
It is a long shot, considering they are doing the festival circuit, and the festival circuit's only a couple of months away.
Yeah. Wage War as well.
I know. Because you got me into Wage War. I'd never even heard of them until I came around here and you were like, listen to this band, dude. Yeah, they are fucking tight. And Architects, them, and House Protection, that's a great lineup.
Yeah. Well, Wage War, I can't remember how I found them, but it was about 8 years ago when I moved here and I was decorating and just put some, I put one of their albums on. Like, one of their songs came on randomly. I was like, oh, I put the album on. I was like, what is this? And they had another album, so I put those on. And then it took me down the route of like Bad Omens and stuff like that. But Wage War have always dropped stuff and just never really like exploded. They got really good stuff, and it just feels like not many people have heard of them still. It's weird.
It's been a very strange year so far for releases. And it's like I keep having to remind myself we're only in March, and we've still got like
the rest of the year.
2/3 of the year to go. It's going to be crazy. The amount of, I mean, just with the amount of gigs that have been announced, the amount of tours that have been announced.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a music fan living in the UK at this moment in time, you are absolutely spoiled for choice for the amount of incredible music that's going to be pouring into the country.
Yeah.
And it feels that way. It feels like 20 years ago. Remember when you couldn't like leave the house without bumping into one of the like biggest tours in the UK, and it was just the scene was so heavily saturated with incredible artists.
Yeah,
it feels like that, and for that I'm eternally grateful because it's given me like a real excitement for music again. Even some of the chart shit that's coming out is like incredible.
Yeah,
but the problem is we are also living in a time where the cost of living crisis being what it is literally going to break some people's entire lives with the amount of money they're going to have to spend to go to gigs.
Yeah, and it's only going to go up. And it's even the money when you're there. You know, it's not just a ticket.
Let's play another game right now. Architects released their tickets for their tour tomorrow.
Yeah,
prices haven't been released. They're playing an arena tour, so it's the O2.
Not Wembley.
Is it Wembley? No,
it's Wembley Arena.
Yeah, no, it's not Wembley.
Utility.
It's the O2 Arena, like the old Millennium Dome.
Oh, right. Wow, okay.
They're playing the OVO in Wales, in Cardiff, and they're playing the MEN Arena in Manchester. So big arena tour. It's the same kind of thing as Bring Me the Horizon's just done.
A bit disappointing considering it's only 3 places.
3 UK dates. Because I was looking at logistics of getting a day off work on the 7th and jumping on a plane and fucking off over to Amsterdam. Because it would probably cost me less to go to Amsterdam to watch them than it would for me to drive to somewhere like Manchester.
Yeah.
Or Cardiff.
Yeah, it's true.
And also I'm in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is disappointing. I was hoping they were going to do not like a club tour, but like certainly a
few more dates.
Like play the main stage at the Institute, a bit like While She Sleeps.
Oh, what, do like a warm-up gig?
I expected the tour to be like the While She Sleeps tour.
Oh yeah,
playing venues like that, the O2 Institute.
They'll be massive. They, like you saw how big their show is.
Yeah.
At
Bloodstock,
and that was a small stage for them.
It's got to be an arena tour because they're at that level now. They're at the same level as Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be bigger. They've got 10 albums behind them. They've been going for 20 years. They are a prestige band now. So I fully understand it. But at the same time, they've always felt to me like a smaller band that nobody's heard of. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of their powers is that they remind me of a band that's mine.
Yeah.
But I forget they've got 10 albums, they've been going for 20 years, and they've got a massive fan base across the world. So I have to give them their flowers. Here are. Here's your bouquet, sir.
Yeah.
Well done, congratulations.
Yeah,
but
it's just taken them a while to. I mean, obviously they've become really commercial of late, and I think more people are going to start getting into them. So arena tours, they'll probably sell out really quick.
Well, this is what we said about when we went to see While She Sleeps. The kind of
I expected them to be in a bigger venue.
Yeah, the hierarchy of those kind of bands at the moment, and I think because metalcore is kind of on the way out, metalcore and is got to evolve. Metalcore is at the same point now as nu metal was towards the end of nu metal, when everything was becoming a bit saturated and all the bands were starting to sound alike. Yeah. And one of the problems with that, unfortunately, is the Jordan Fish of it all.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like we're slamming him. We're not. It's incredible.
It's the sound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible what he has achieved, and it's incredible what he can do. Yeah. His production work is second to none. He's got his fingerprint, and I love the fact that you can identify a Jordan Fish joint by, like, the first 3 seconds. You're like, sounds like Jordan Fish.
Yeah.
Like, House of Protection production is fucking incredible. The Brain Dead song is Jordan Fish. Like, it's two of Jordan Fish's favourite bands, like, slammed together, and it's incredible. Yeah. And then you got him on top of it, but it is now become the scene. Everyone's trying to chase that sound. Yeah. So everybody is kind of starting to sound very similar to each other.
Yeah. And I kind of blame a bit of Bring Me the Horizon.
Bring Me the Horizon.
Bad Omens, and now there's... I don't even think of the band.
It's everyone's trying to clone each other so they can try and take the best bits of all their favourite bands, and all of their favourite bands are all in the same genre. Yeah. So there's only so much you can steal before you start sounding like exactly the same thing. Yeah. And that's what happened with nu metal. Everyone wants to be Deftones or Korn or Limp Bizkit, and then you started to just hear the same three Incubus,
just watered down versions. Yeah, Taproot, and then after Taproot, Trapped, or you know, it became really
Chevelle.
Like because like Taproot and Papa Roach came like the second half of nu metal. So you had Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, Seven Dust, Snot, and then there was like this line drawn down the middle, and all of a sudden it was like, right, here's some new ones: Linkin Park, Papa Roach, Disturbed. All these other bands were merging out, and they were like,
Slipknot came out around the same time, and in the first album, you could technically argue
Slipknot were that line.
Yeah, you could technically argue that they were nu metal because they were in the era. They had a lot of the same trappings, but they saw
a DJ
where it was going, and then they just went, "We need to be heavier, harder, more attitude, and scarier, and we need to step away from this because look at it."
Okay, so that piece that bridges the Papa Roaches, Linkin Parks, System of a Down, and Slipknot.
Mm-hmm.
So you had that first stage, then the second stage, and that by that second stage, you had like Fear Factory, Machine Head, even like Gary Newman with the whole Fear Factory thing, all going like no, maybe not Gary Newman's a good example, but these bands went nu metal. You know, they ditched what they were doing. Even like Soulfly, Max Cavalera was kind of nu metal.
It was, Soulfly was very nu metal.
And it was like ditching that sound to do that.
Yeah. So you always had like a band, and then you had the band's little brother, which sounded just like them. And it was like, that was the whole scene. And metalcore is exactly the same now. Yeah. It is so full of bands and their little brother who are trying to copy them. Yeah. That it's impossible for you to kind of like fall in love with a new band because you've already listened to the better version of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think right now we're in a crossing point where metal is obviously having a big resurgence, like proper metal, like, you know, thrash, speed metal, heavy metal in general, having a big resurgence.
Yeah.
You've got the almost kind of like the third wave of American heavy metal.
Yeah.
Kind of coming out of the States.
Metal.
And nu metal is kind of having a resurgence at the moment again.
Yeah.
Deathcore is becoming bigger. Metalcore is kind of going into the background because deathcore is definitely stepping into that breach.
And all of these old bands where they've had dead singers or frontmen, they're all coming back. Snot, Acid Bath, he was like the bassist. I mean, all right, Static X are doing it anyway. Stone Temple Pilots. I mean, they've been going a few years without Scott now.
Well, originally Stone Temple Pilots had Chester Bennington.
Yeah, that's right.
After Scott passed away, and then obviously he passed away, and they were like lost again. Yeah. What I really want at this moment in time, I'm craving it. I'm desperate for it to happen. Is for a Audio Slave moment to happen again.
You know what? I actually saw an interview yesterday with Tom Morello. Him being interviewed by Billy Corgan.
Yeah. It's a great interview.
And yeah, he was just saying, like, he was just describing Chris Cornell's voice, like how each moment or each like section of a song just like takes you down, like you can feel like the mood, and it's just like really dark, or then it's really bright, and like he was describing an Audio Slave song, and it had like so many different layers to it.
Have you listened to much Audio Slave? Did you really like delve into it?
I liked one song from the first album, Like a Stone, tune, but the rest of it, I was like, yeah, it's Rage Against the Machine with someone actually singing, and it was all right.
If you didn't really pay attention, if you just listened to it, it's Rage Against the Machine with Chris Cornell.
Yeah,
and that's easy. It's really easy to kind of shirk it off and just kind of move on.
Yeah,
if you dip into it and like really give it the time, I think it's 3 albums they did. Each of the 3 albums has got like a complete identity. It's very much Audio Slave all the way through.
Yeah,
they never really like fully sink into the Rage Against the Machine of it all. It's very 4/4 against the floor. It's like really like solid rock music.
It's just the Tom Morello sound.
The Tom Morello sound has a time and a place, and he really employs it well. But Chris Cornell's vocals elevated that band to something really special. It's a bit kind of like Stone Sour.
Yeah,
aren't a really terribly original band. They've not got an amazing like amazingly original repertoire, but because of the Corey Taylor of it all, it elevates the band to like a different level.
Yeah.
Then you add in like Jim Root, who is, you know, one of the best guitarists we've got at the moment in time, and like he's so underrated.
He is. I love his guitar. The Telecaster, it's so nice.
So many people would like definitely go towards Mick in the Slipknot equation, but I've always like went onto the root of it all because I just think he's such a good guitarist.
See, we did that.
I did. He reminds me. Jim Root reminds me of a more serious Wes Borland.
Okay.
He's got that kind of same attitude, and that same flair, but his is a lot more kind of intense and internal.
Yeah,
where Wes wants to be, you know, extravagant and external.
In his interviews, I saw an interview with Wes Borland yesterday, and everyone was just commenting saying he looked like Ned Flanders.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking science teacher.
But just the way he spoke, he was just like really chill and really kind of down to earth, and just talking about when he joined Limp Bizkit. Like they were asking him, and he was like, "I don't want to do that." And then he just decided to give it a shot when they started recording their first album, and just got into it then. And he was like, just saying like what he was talking about when he left and stuff. But he was just really down to earth, really mellow, and you see him on stage, and he's just fucking mental.
Jim Root is
brilliant.
Jim Root is exactly the same. When he talks about guitars, he's a man who loves what he does for a living. Yeah. And he loves guitars, and he just loves playing music. And his I
think very fortunate to have that as a job.
Yeah, exactly. You know? It's really it's a cool, interesting time to be a fan of music, especially heavy. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next, because I think the lines are becoming more and more blurred. Like Lady Gaga's just done a fucking 9 Inch Nails album.
It's fucking awesome. I love it.
But like
I've been listening to that more than metal at the moment.
But even so, I mean, what a year ago, 2 years ago, I was banging on to you about Halsey's album with with Trent Reznor's production. Trent and Atticus Ross, is it?
Yeah, I remember now.
Produced her last album, but before The Imposter, or The Great Impressionist, or whatever it's called. The album before, I fucking thought it was the album of the year. It was incredible from beginning to end. Not a bad song on it. It was absolutely insanely good, and every single song in it was a banger. And the production work by Reznor and Ross was insanely clever, and elevated her vocals to like a whole new level. She's come back now with this like very poppy, very
she's got a new
shy. Yeah, it's really, really
That's
great.
what I'm looking for now.
It's really great. The sing it's very like sexy and naughty and very dangerous. She's taken what is essentially quite a throwaway pop song, and she's made it into a really like dangerous song.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga's kind of copied her. She's kind of gone down. She's kind of taking a leaf from her contemporaries' book, and is trying to find new ways of like presenting herself to her fan base in interesting ways that are current and relevant. And the Halsey thing, she's very much copying it with the 9 Inch Nails kind of influence. But I'm not knocking it at all. Like, fucking you do you, love. It's brilliant.
Yeah, well, she said in an interview, you know, basically she heard Closer and was like, I want that intro. I want something like that for one of the songs, and you can hear it through the album. I mean, I really like it, and actually been listening to Nine Inch Nails quite a lot lately as well. So that has something to do with it, with the influence of it. But
here's what I want.
Yeah,
I want Justin Timberlake to release his rock album. I want Lady Gaga to do a full metal band. I want her to go full metal.
Yeah.
She's done Metallica.
yeah.
She could definitely do the spirit box
Pantera.
type thing. Yeah, exactly. She's dipped her toe in the metal scene. I want her to go full metal.
Yeah.
And really fucking throw herself into an album where she just takes absolute risk and just does like a full metal album. I want Dizzy Rascal
Yeah.
to front Sepultura. He's talked about it being his favourite band.
Yeah, I can't see.
No, I
see
can't.
it.
But can you imagine him doing something with like a metal band, like behind him?
Skin Dread, maybe.
Yeah, something
You know, you've got the reggae, and then have like the London street
rock band or a heavy band of some sort, which has got like proper metal elements in it. And Dizzy Rascal, that would be incredible. I just want artists to take risks, and they are. And this is the thing: for a long time, we have had a lot of chart acts and chart bands and everything, who have been very throwaway, and their like entire career is probably 5-6 years. We haven't had a Bowie, and a Rolling Stones, and a Beatles, and a Jeff Buckley, and these legacy artists who release albums like one after the other, and every single one of them is solid gold, like legendary releases.
No, we've got bands like the 1975, which
I listened to 4 or 5 tracks of that the other night because I was around a friend's house, and she's a huge 1975 fan, and it's the first time I've ever listened to them willingly and like consciously, and paid attention and go, oh, I know this song. Oh, I know this song. Oh, I know this song. I'm not necessarily like a big fan of any of it, but I can understand it and I get it, and there's a time and a place, and there's definitely an audience for it.
Yeah.
The Coldplay of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's something for everyone, isn't there? Can't please everyone either. There is actually quite a cool band. Is it a band? I guess so. I think it's called DJ or Dojo. And it's, I can't remember his name. Steve from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
His band. Dojo? DJO.
Oh, Dojo. All right.
Something like that. Yeah. Very arcade fiery, like one of the songs, and then something a little bit more, I don't know, like a bit 80s sounding, but not. Brilliant. I really like it, and I really want him to do well. I want him to become a rock star. That'd be so good.
The people that we're kind of putting all of our stock in at the moment, like the Brendan Bensons, is it?
Who's that?
That no, stay. I want you. I need you. Don't go. That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he's
Mannequin.
He's like become like really big and massive now. But it's all got that kind of Coldplay of it all, the Imagine Dragonness of it all, where it's all like almost kind of AI music.
Yeah.
And like I appreciate
overpolished.
Yeah, overpolished, like underthought out, like
TikTok songs.
TikTok songs.
It's basically TikTok music.
And this is where hip hop
green
has become so like prevalent in like modern societies, because hip hop is constantly innovating, constantly reinventing itself, constantly looking for new ways to make itself relevant and also interesting and dangerous.
Yeah.
Doechii.
I was just about to say about Doechii. And talking about reinvention, I forgot about Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
And a song came up the other day on TikTok, and when I was looking to add some music, and that was basically, was it Denial is a River?
Yeah.
It was that vibe, and it was like, oh my God, Salt and Pepper's now cool.
She's properly.
I really like this.
The thing is, if you listen to her, there's definitely like callbacks to Little Kim. There's callbacks to Missy. There's callbacks to Salt and Pepper.
But even before that, even like the male side of hip hop with your Snoop Dogg and
the Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
She does flip mode. She's constantly like referring back to like the history of hip hop. But the thing is, all of it sounds completely relevant and completely now. And
Yeah.
then when you can drop a song like Delilah's River, which is a really like introspective, self-critical song,
Yeah.
but it's so fucking like catchy and it's a banger.
Yeah.
I just want rock to have its like hip hop moment and to just look at itself in the mirror and just go, what do we need? What do we do now? Like, how can we? I want a bit of shock back.
Yeah.
I want a bit of shock and a bit of, because Slipknot are on the way out. I think maybe they've got.
I do feel like Sleep Token are supposed to fill that void,
but they're not dangerous. They're more.
No.
The thing about Sleep Token is they dress up in a role which is on paper. If you don't know who they are and you look at them, you think, oh, they look scary. But then you listen to them and they're kind of
sleepwoken.
Yeah, they're kind of they're very pretty in their sound. They don't.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous sounding. It's pretty, and even the
Yeah.
bits where they go heavy sounds kind of almost a bit too polished. Because they were never a really, really heavy band. They used to be this kind of almost pop rock side of metal. And then they've had to get harsher and harsher because of the people that want to play with them and the like places that want to put them on.
Yeah.
So they are adjusting their sound, but I think they're always going to have that kind of romantic edge to the back of it. It's interesting. Something's going to give. Something's going to give, and it's going to have a big change.
Yeah, you just have to not think about it. A couple of years, maybe. Might be something new. Who knows? Something could be cooking in a garage somewhere on this planet.
Yeah.
That's going to blow the world away.
This is why I liked House of Protection so much, because it's...
I don't think they're the answer.
I don't think they're answer, but I think they're a good first step.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
the sound they've made is so like unique and it sounds so edgy.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's on the verge of collapsing, that I really like the fact that it doesn't sound like it's kind of put together very strongly.
They need to do an album.
Yeah.
You know, get an album done, and then, you know, we can see what you know, how you fill those gaps. You know, you got these great songs. What else are you going to put on there? What else have you got?
I super appreciate the fact that they're doing 2 EPs though, because Galore was wall to wall bangers.
There's too many EPs out there though, and singles.
I know.
Like we're talking about Architects, 5 singles before the album.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that with Thornhill. I'm like, fuck off. I don't want to hear it now. I just want to hear the album when it comes out. So I have listened to the new one. It was very good. And I've just put it at the back of my mind. It's like, when the album comes out, there are some songs I've already heard. So that's okay. But like, you know, some bands only live off singles. And it's just, no, I don't like that. Do an album.
The most interesting artist out there in the UK at the moment in time, I think, unarguably, everything he touches is turning to gold. And I think he's not released a bad thing so far.
Who's that?
Ren
Yeah.
is the most interesting and like dangerous, like
Underrated. No one talks about him.
the right people are talking about him,
Yeah.
but he's not like on the radio every single day.
No.
And I think he could be. He could be the. Have you seen him Fire in the Booth? It's kind of a radio show. It's got Charlie. Yo, this is Fire in the Booth. He's kind of like the guy which has replaced Tim Westwood.
Oh,
He's become like the new kind of Tim Westwood. You know, like everyone used to go to Tim Westwood's show to like drop their new single and stuff. And like it used to be Fire, and he used to go, "Oh, it's so banging. My
Yeah.
dad's a vicar. I'm 72."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like sound like I'm on the streets.
This guy Charlie does Fire in the Booth, and
Yeah.
he gets all the big MCs in, and they get to drop like a track, a bar or something, and it's just hype. It's just full hype. But if you get on his show, you've really made it.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to get Ren on there for ages. Ren went on there recently, like in the last 2 weeks, and dropped one of the best Fire in the Booth sessions I've ever seen. Absolutely killer from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Fucking destroyed the booth, like, and walked out with the belt. Like, it was incredible.
Nice.
He cannot put a foot wrong. And then he goes off and he fucks off with his band, The Big Push, and he like does a Buskers album at the end of last year, where they recorded an album of just covers, just him and his busking band.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he drops like 4 new hip hop.
He's so varied as well, though. So I think that's going to be his problem.
Everything about him though is great. Visual.
Yeah. He needs to stick to a
audio.
genre. I think
Yeah.
if he wants to get out there, and then you can mess around and do stuff. Just stick to something, make a name for yourself, set a story for yourself, and then go from there. Someone you could do a cover of Police, or Bob Marley or whatever I've heard, and it sounds incredible. But then he'll do a different song, totally different, completely different sound, and I think people will just be divided. Like, I like that song, but I don't like that one. So if you did something that lots of people can agree with, then go and do your other shit.
Do you want to have a couple of band recommendations that I've fallen into recently?
Mm-hmm.
A guy who's been doing a lot of TikTok and Instagram releases.
Okay.
Very, very kind of Americana, but like horror Americana.
Yeah.
It's a singer-songwriter called Moonwalker.
Called Moonwalker.
Moonwalker.
Right.
As in surname Walker, first name Moon. He's done the song called Ban This Song.
Like Michael Jackson.
But two separate words.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Really, really clever. Very lo-fi. Sounds like it was recorded in his bedroom.
Yeah.
But really like relevant and current. And he takes like things that are going on in the news.
Yeah.
And he then releases like tracks around it. So recently he's released a song called Ban This Song, which is all about America at the moment, like banning books and banning education and banning abortion and banning, just like this constant like tirade at the moment that they're going off like the Republicans and the Conservatives are basically banning everything.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the year, he released a song called Monopoly Money, which was all about the CEO that got killed by Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
Fucking cracking single. So it's a lot of singles.
Okay.
So he's doing really well. If you want to go listen to Ban This Song, it came out on the
Ban This Song.
Yeah, Ban This Song, Moonwalker. It came out the 14th of February. A band that we went to a gig recently, didn't we?
Mm.
It was a good one too.
Yeah.
It was an interesting little gig, that.
It was. It was just, for me, it was like, so we went to see Biohazard with Life of Agony and Lilac. And for me, I've been dying to see Biohazard for years, so it was just nice to tick that box. I've done it now. They were great. The sound in there was a bit muddy, I thought.
A bit muddy, but they were. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, I really enjoyed them. Life of Agony, I thought were pretty decent too.
Life of Agony really surprised me. It was a bucket list band for me. It's a band I've always wanted to like. I think I've seen them once before, and I don't think it was a great gig. But I really fell in love with them back in the early 2000s, before Keith became Mina, and now is Keith again.
Yeah. He left for a while too.
Yeah,
they had different singers.
Whitfield Crane, wasn't it?
Yeah, I never really got into him, but I really appreciated them the other night. I thought they were really good.
Biohazard were exactly what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
New York hardcore band that comes out and kicks the fucking roof off the place.
Yeah.
They were brilliant from beginning to end, and there was such a good, friendly, lovely band as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they look like they're enjoying themselves. They're all having a laugh and stuff, and they're just there for the moment because they know,
they love their audience.
They won't be there in 10 years' time.
Exactly. And the guitarist, I can't remember who the other guitarist is. The older guy.
The blonde guy? Oh no, the old one who's outside. Oh,
we hung out with
Mike
him.
Something.
We hung out with him after the show and stuff, and he was saying hello and taking photos with absolutely everybody. Jumped off the crowd through the security, off the stage into the security, over the barrier, through the crowd, and then was just spending must have been an hour with everyone. Lilac were really, really interesting.
Yeah,
I downloaded the album. It's actually really good. It's really fun. It's very, very new metal.
Yeah,
but as a new band, trying something new with something old, and part of that resurgence of the new metal sound, they're really leaning into it. The female vocalist has got a hell of a voice on her.
Yeah, I did check out a little bit before we went on. I think I followed them on Facebook or something. But from what I heard, it was good. I think we just got in there a little bit late, didn't we? And just missed it.
We just caught the tail end, and then that was about it.
Yeah.
But we hung out with them at the end of the show, and they were really, really fun people and really lovely again, like really, really into their crowd and their fan base, and definitely out to make friends, which really endeared me to them.
Have we got to the end?
Oh, mate. That's the outro music.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to go in a minute.
We'll bring it back at the end anyway.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah. So this is not the end of the podcast. It's just placed there.
It really endeared me.
Yeah.
I thought they were really sweet, and she was bloody gorgeous.
So other bands we've been listening to, The Garden. It's like a two-piece, bit weird, like punky, indie, electronic, quite shouty in places. I can't put it in a particular
like a throwback kind of band.
Yeah, and it gives me vibes of like 20 years ago, 2005 kind of garage rock bands.
Okay,
but weird. I mean, 1 minute he sounds like Daryl Palumbo, and then Hot Heat, and then it sounds totally different and
like the Strokes meets Icarus line.
Yeah, really weird. But I like it. It's just like there's no set genre to it, and they just sound like just having a laugh.
Nice.
And then there was Life's Question, which is a bit kind of, I think because we went to see Biohazard, these guys popped up and was like, yeah, this is awesome. Very New York hardcore, NY hardcore, widdly guitars and shouty vocals, and you know what you'd expect. Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff though.
Yeah, it's just fun music. A little bit. It kind of reminds me of like Municipal Waste as well, where they're more of a metal band, but just like party rock, party metal.
But Municipal Waste are more of a party band as well. I mean, like you got to love them, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were amazing.
I'm gutted I didn't go to that, but next time I will definitely check them out.
That was when they supported Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah,
that was a weird gig. Not usually my cup of tea. Not my usual kind of buy tickets for this gig, but we got some freebies, and crazy good.
And you can say you've seen them.
I know, and it was really enjoyable. The whole gig, like all night, was really enjoyable. It was a bit like when we got tickets to Pagan Fest and we watched Ailstorm, and there was a bunch of bands. I'm like, I would never in a million years have paid any attention to these bands. Yeah, but the tickets were free, and it's fucking cracking. Yeah. One album we have to talk about. Okay. Possibly. So, Architects are at the moment my most enjoyable album of the year. Yeah, and I think they're definitely going to be in my top three. Placed in my top three. Okay. So far, my album of the year, without a shadow of a doubt, Whitechapel. Okay. Hymns of Dissonance. Holy shit. Kenny, holy shit.
Wall to wall.
It is one of the heaviest things I've ever listened to. Okay. It is a band who are sick to their back fucking teeth of people ripping off of their sound. Yeah. Okay. And they have come back 10 times heavier. We watched them at Bloodstock last year. I've always enjoyed them, but from a kind of distance. Yeah. When we watched them at Bloodstock, immediately elevated it into, I'm going to listen to all of the Whitechapel albums again when we get back. A bit like how you were with Malevolence. Yeah, and I mean, I did actually get into some of the Whitechapel album, actually, when they went a bit softer. Yeah. But it makes me appreciate the heavy stuff, because they've gone, right, we've done the soft stuff, let's go heavy before we sell, people accuse us of selling out, when they released the single, the tail end of last year, we did reactions to it, and it was one of the ones we were like, Christ, this is heavy. Yeah. But, I mean, The Valley is one of my favourite albums. This is something completely different. It's so violently heavy. Phil, the vocalist, is going to a very dark place vocally. The band have just decided they are not going to have any prisoners whatsoever. I mean, God forbid, if we get tickets to go and see them play in support of this album, we go anywhere near the fucking pit. People are going.
Oh yeah,
to
no,
get killed.
I'm good. I'm not going anywhere
It's
near that.
honestly one of the most violently heavy albums I've heard in about a decade.
Yeah,
And from beginning to end, it is insane. I can't fault it at all. I cannot fault it. It's not an album that you can take lightly, and it's not an easy listen. But as a rewarding beginning to end album, unrepentingly brilliant.
and
Yeah,
it's their 10th album.
mate.
Wow.
Yeah, they're the OGs, really. I mean, like in many ways, like a lot of the deathcore sound, kind of circles back round to Whitechapel. Like they finessed it, enhanced it, and then like elevated it.
Yeah,
Bands like Lorna Shore wouldn't exist without them. And like they've, how big have Lorna Shore become? And listening to this album, Hymns of Dissonance, makes things like Lorna Shore make so much more sense to me, and I got a whole new appreciation for what they're doing. But Whitechapel do it better than anybody. Incredible album, solid 10, cannot fault it, beginning to end, wall banger.
okay.
Not for everybody, but if you give it a chance, I think you'll find something in there that you will absolutely fall in love with if you like heavy music.
Yeah, I'm going to be listening to that. I've just haven't really listened to much of late, so I'm just adding this into my Spotify so I know, so I won't forget. But no, I'll definitely give that a go. And the tune you played me earlier, I want to hear more. I want to hear something a little different to that, like different tone, a different pace. That was quite slow, but yeah, it was good. Who else? What else?
I think that's pretty much it at the moment.
Yeah.
Wrapping it up nice and neatly into a nice tight bow. We're just going to ask you one very last question before we go.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to Kenny's record corner. And what are you listening to on your little spinny disc of joy at the moment in time?
At the moment, what have I been listening to? I've actually gone back, being really boring. Back, Bringing the Horizon. Sound really basic now. A band called. So I was playing Tony Hawk the other night. The HD collection. So they've announced they're bringing out a remaster of 3 and 4, which is very exciting. Comes out in July, and I thought I've got 1 and 2. Haven't played it for ages, and the soundtrack from like these games, and they added songs when they did the remake of it. So there's some new bands I hadn't heard playing this game, and it's like every song was a banger. So I've been listening to stuff like the Ataris, band called Fiddler, which I'd never heard of before. They were on one of the Tony Hawks. Brilliant. I did actually listen to a bit of Wage War the other day as well. And Dejo, or, the Steve from Stranger Things. That's pretty much it, really. And Lady Gaga. My kid has got into My Chemical Romance. So I was showing him a song of Gerard Way with Dead Mouse. Fucking amazing song. And I discovered that from FIFA 12. No, 14, I think, or something. I can't remember. But yeah, so yeah, really like weird mix, but not much. And Kiss, as you can see the vinyl in the corner there. But
Double platinum.
Oh, it's amazing. But apart from that, that's it really. I mean, yeah, I said I haven't listened to much music, but it sounds like quite a lot. What about you? Apart from Whitechapel Architects.
Yeah, so taking those two out of the equation, my little bro Joel told me about a death metal band called This Gift Is a Curse.
Okay.
And they've just dropped a new album called Heir, H-E-I-R.
Okay.
As an heir to the crown.
Yeah.
Beautiful little beast.
Mm-hmm.
Slaps you around silly.
Yeah.
Spat in my open mouth. Stomped on my skull. Enjoyed every second of it.
Excellent.
They were fun. And then I have been listening to lots of weird stuff recently. So Moonwalker, an act called Madeline, who I discovered on Instagram.
Okay.
Do you know Jack Garrett?
No.
My friend Haley played me a track of his the other night, and I fell in love with it. It sounds like Jeff Buckley.
Okay.
And I'll play it for you when we finished. My God.
Yeah. Okay.
My good God.
Sounds good.
And then Noah Gunderson, lots and lots of Noah Gunderson. I've been wanting to listen to something a bit more singer-songwritery. And when I get into that headspace, there's only two ways to go. It's either going to somewhere like the Jeff Buckley's of it all.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit Buckleyed out at the moment. So I've been listening to Noah Gunderson and his EP, Saints and Liars. Yeah, nice little mix.
Excellent. I think that's all we've got time for today.
That's all we've got
so we're going to have to get that music back in again and play it. Are we going to copy and paste it so we leave it where it just jumped in?
Yeah, I tell you what.
Oh, yeah, cool.
We're going to do a seamless edit as we're speaking right now.
Well, no one's going to
Even realise that we
Sorry.
have messed around with anything. It's going to be completely seamless, magical. That was all done in one take while you were listening to us, and we didn't at all pause, press, leave, or do anything at all.
No, it all just happened.
Naturally. Oh, just like that. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, so, yeah, bye then. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Would you like a cup of
Cup of tea.
tea?
Come in, meet the missus.